So this is a web app, so you don't have to download anything, but you do have to make an account. So you have to make sure you can get on the UT guest or the Wi-Fi. Hello. So if anybody has a problem making an account, let me know. Because that link looks kind of weird, but. Yeah, that happened to me the other day. You can just try it 7 times and it should work. UT guest?
Can you test the mic?
Oh, testing. Testing the mic. Nice, thank you. Has anyone had success making an account? What worked? What do you see?
Let's start creating, and it has like 3 tutorials.
Nice. Perfect. And then if you want, you can download Scaniverse on your smartphone, on your iDevice. The second delivery of food is late. If one of y'all are sticking around, could you help me grab it? Thank you.
Wait, are they delivering it?
Here, yeah. I don't know which side of the building they usually come to. I told them the correct side, but I don't know. Cardinal directions.
And then maybe at the end. Oh, we'll do the like raffle thingy.
Yeah.
And promote text immersive, all that stuff. All that good things.
Yeah.
Promote text immersive and polls.
On polls?
And polls.
What is that? Oh, they renamed it. They renamed it like 5 times. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was like,
Polls. Yeah, polls. I thought you were saying polls, like where you go to vote. I was like, I do like just doing your civic duty.
oh, also question.
Yeah.
Do I have to add them to?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I imagined myself copy pasting.
No. We're good.
Really awesome.
Yeah, they're gonna use a free account.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I thought of that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I had all their emails, so I was gonna do it beforehand, but I said it should be fine. Hey, everybody who just walked in, go to this URL and make an account with your email of choice. And we have more food coming, so once that comes, we'll take a break. So this is, you can just go to 8th.io and probably find where to make the account. So I'm just going to start. Let's see. Okay, we're going to talk about Niantic's new tool called Studio. Has anyone in here ever used or heard of Pokemon Go? Cool. So this is the engineering team behind that app. Specifically, they deal with augmented reality, like face overlays, world overlays, and also like mapping, like what I would call the metaverse before that term was ruined for me. So pretty cool. They have a new tool out that's free to use, and you can make What's neat about this tool is that you can publish your app on a free website, and anyone can access it, usually by like scanning a QR code. So it's very accessible if you want to get a augmented reality application up and running within like less than an hour, which is what we're going to do today. So once if you haven't made an account, just go to Niantic Studio or 8thwall.io. 8th Wall is what it used to be called. I guess they're calling it Niantic Studio now. The website I see looks like this. And another nice thing about this tool is it's very education focused. So they have a ton of not only template projects, but also there's a whole community where people will upload their applications, and you can take a look. Many are open source, so you can take them apart and you don't have to build from scratch every time, which I am a huge proponent of. So yeah, like I said, XR in the web browser, super accessible. Everybody has a smartphone these days. Yeah, everybody has a smartphone, so massive reach. You can reach anybody. No app required. It's in the browser. Creative freedom. So yeah, it's web-based. What's nice about I think what they're doing with Niantic Studio versus 8th Wall is it's more of a visual editor focused rather than writing pure code. So you can see here on the right, you have a panel with a bunch of different parameters that control 3D objects in a scene. Physics engine. You have a new game engine for this. And it's all for free. So one feature, world effects. You can put this guy on a Whopper and he'll dance around. 6 degrees of freedom basically means you can go forward, backward, left, right, up, down. That's 6 directions. And you can get like a lighting estimation, which used to be very computationally expensive, but is not so much anymore. Face effects, we've all seen Snapchat dog filter. These are very easy to make now. All you have to really have is like a 3D model or something. And then what VPS is cool for is if you have some event somewhere specific, you can like draw, a gate around your map area and then have the effect happen in a very specific area. So if you want to make these balloons appear like in a specific place on UT campus, you can do that. And it says centimeter level accuracy. I would like to see that tested. That sounds pretty cool. And then it also supports Gaussian splats, which are a new way of 3D scanning the real world with a phone. Basically, we'll get into a little bit more how that works later, but it looks extremely photorealistic, and it has some very cool effects on your phone. We'll get into a project that later this session. I guess here's some examples. Immersive learning. So this is one of those things where you can place a portal and then step inside of it. Location-based XR. But I want to get us started here. So if you haven't yet, go to 8thwall.com or I guess 8th.io and just create an account. So you already have an account here. But create an account so that we can start creating together. It'll create this workspace right here. And this is where you can see all your projects and team if you have one. At Texas Immersive, we have like this team subscription, so we can all see each other's projects, which I think is pretty cool. But we're going to just sign up for a personal account today. We're not doing a pop quiz. That sounds like school. What is a workspace? A place where you can manage your projects, users, and billing. OK, cool. So this is what you see when you open the editor. It'll open like a web app. So right here, if I'm in my workspace and hit new project, it's going to ask me a bunch of questions. And then once I get through that, it'll show me this here. So on the left, if anyone's familiar with a 3D like workflow or editor, this will look really familiar. But if you're not, basically each window here kind of controls a different thing and gives you different information on what you're looking at. Right in the middle, what we see is the viewport. This is where you see all your 3D objects, your lighting effects. You have controls here to like move around and rotate and scale things. And you have an undo button. You have your gizmo down here to see which direction you're oriented. But yeah, right in the middle, you see like all of your 3D objects if you're making something 3D. So this is what you're going to be like clicking and dragging things around. Very similar to a lot of 3D objects. When you're clicking and dragging things around, you'll notice on the left here, if you select the ball, player ball will be selected. This is just a list of all of the items in your 3D scene, including lighting, effects, and other things. So along with that, I'm going to jump over here to the right to the inspector. Also, when you have, if you click here, you select player ball, you'll see a lot of parameters that you can change, like the position, XYZ, rotation, scale, details about the mesh object, which is the term for the 3D geometry. Like this is a sphere with a radius 0.75, and a lot of other parameters like color, material, attributes. And right left of that is the simulator window. So this is basically, you're building things here, you're organized here, and you're changing parameters here. And when you launch this simulation, this is basically like a simulation of what you see on your phone. There's a couple different options here. I don't know if this gets, okay. There's a couple different options here where you can kind of like test different simulations, like if you're outside or if you're inside or a face or standing or walking or rotating. You can choose different phones right here. And then what else is there on this page? Up here, this is where you build, land, and publish. This basically building is what you have to do every time you make a change to kind of recompile the code so it can run in the simulation. Landing is their term for pushing it to a repository, which basically means that you're working on this local copy here, and when you press land, it will update the copy that is saved on their cloud server. And then publish allows you to, basically makes it go live so that other people can see it, and it can be reached at a URL or a QR code, which points to a URL. And then over here on the left is a bucket for assets. This includes stuff like scripts or 3D objects that aren't in the scene yet. And then down here at the bottom is your console. This will give you printout of information like if everything compiled correctly or if there was an error, what version you're on. If you have print statements that you put in the code somewhere, they'll pop up here. So what we're going to, actually, I think we're going to do the world effects workshop first because I think it's more fun, and then we'll do the face effects. This is the same intro. But yeah, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go through world effects, which is we're gonna make these cactuses pop out of the ground when you tap on it. And then after that, we're going to do face effects, which is like a filter. And then we'll get into Gaussian splatting, which I think is kind of the most interesting one here. So if everybody is on, I'm waiting for this food delivery. If everybody has created an account on 8th Wall, you should be able to go to Project Library up here on the top and see a bunch of templates. And there are a lot of them here. Whenever I'm creating a project, if I have an idea, I usually try to look through this and see if anything is close to what I'm already trying to make, because that will save you a lot of time to just start from something basic. I think one that I use a lot here is the image target. The image target is really cool. Let's search for exactly what that is. Yeah. So this one's really cool because let's test it out. What's cool about this is that you can test it out. So do you think that QR code is big enough for y'all's phones to scan? Let's see if I can zoom in. You can also go to 8th.io/jelly. I'm going to try it too. And so it'll ask you, like, probably access the camera. I say yes. Then you'll just see through your camera like a normal camera app. But if you point it at the screen, try looking at that 3D model of the jellyfish up there. And if it can recognize it, I can't get it from this angle. I don't know if you can see on my phone, but it has a little 3D object you can rotate. And then if I look at this video, it has a video that you can press play on that tracks with where you're looking, which I think is pretty neat. And something like this is super easy to set up pretty quickly. And you already have, everything you need here. You have all the code and everything. But what we're going to do this one first. So I'm going to go to Studio World Effects, which I can get to by going to Project Library up here. I'm just going to type in world. Those are the cacti. And let's try this out first. So I can hit, let's see if I can hit launch here. So this will give me a QR code. I'll scan this one. Again, it'll prompts me to go to a link. I'll click on that. Access camera, I say yes. And then I can see around the room, and wherever I tap, a cactus will pop out of the ground. And also have a nice little shadow, which is kind of interesting. That's new. How's it working for y'all? Put a cactus on me, Jake? Yeah, so all you need is a 3D object. And you can set something like this up. So what we're going to do here first is we're going to click Clone Project. And this will basically copy it off of their server and let you edit it. So there is a clone project here. It'll prompt you to do a few things. You might need to select what workspace you want to put it under. You'll want to create a project URL. This is where it'll be accessible. So you can put Workshop, World Effects, put your name, something like that. And then I think it'll make you select educational use for license type, or you might be able to do non-commercial or something like that. Basically, all these tools are free to use if you're not using them for some kind of commercial project that makes you money. Which is pretty neat, yeah. Has anyone had any trouble setting this up yet? No, cool. So let's move on then. Once your project has successfully duplicated, it'll open in Niantic Studio, which will, I'll walk through this too. So I'll hit Immersive Institute, Cactus, Project, License Type, Educational. It'll take a second to duplicate. Hello. You can have a seat anywhere. While this is duplicating, I think you have an 8th Wall account already, Arash, but if you don't, you just create one at 8th.io. But we clone this project, and then you should see an editor like this. You can move around. Typically when I'm working in 3D, I like to use a 3-button mouse with a left, a right, and a middle click button because it makes a lot of controls like really easy. But if you don't, you should still be able to do everything you need to do. And what we see here is an infinite grid going off into the horizon. We see a little camera icon. We see a cactus. And you'll notice when I click on these things, you'll see different things pop up. Like on the left, there's, it'll show that I'm selected on the cactus. This will show that I'm selected on the camera. This will show the position of the camera. If I want to change it, you can type in different numbers. Since this is a pretty simple one, we kind of have a good idea of what's going on. There's just a camera and there's a cactus. So what we'll do first, let's see what it says to do first. World tracking allows users to seamlessly integrate realistic AR scenes into their environment. So we'll add a 3D object into the hierarchy. From assets, drag and drop cactus.glb into a hierarchy. A GLB is a 3D object that is specifically tuned for augmented reality. So I'm going to drag and drop this here. And you'll see it popped up right here, and I can move it around with this gizmo. So we did that. Editing environmental conditions. So there's a new component button here that will allow you to click it. I'm going to click that. Make sure you have Cactus GLB selected. There's a new component button. Click that, and then you can search for light. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to make sure I'm selected on it. There's a new component button. I'm just going to browse in here. Yeah, here's the light. And so now this has added a light that is tied to this cactus. So adding custom interactions. Custom components allow you to create custom behaviors, interactions, and respond to user input in any way you'd like. So I think we're going to make it so that it pops up when we tap it. So let's edit the custom component that will allow you to spawn the cactus object with a tap interaction. In the hierarchy, select ground to view the properties in the inspector. So I select here, ground. This is this big ground plane here that we can see. And you can see I think we're going to add a component here. So if we have custom components, no code required. So basically, these are like little pieces of code that you can drop into your project without having to modify them. This has a tap place custom component, which is right here. You can remove it, edit it. If I hit edit, you can kind of see the code behind there. But it's pretty robust and already kind of does its job. But in case you need to dive in here and see something specific, here it is. This is TypeScript, I believe, which is kind of like JavaScript. But I'm going to click on this, and you can spawn Cactus GLB instead of Cactus. And I think when it spawns, it seems like there's a min scale and a max scale. Again, if we don't know what that does, we can kind of look at the code and see what it does if you want to do some code diving. And this, just on a cursory glance here, it looks like min scale, max scale it'll choose a random scale and then pick between those two numbers. So right now it's between 2 and 4. So we're going to edit that. Like I said, spawn a Cactus GLB. Absolute scale versus responsive scale, which I think is really interesting because the absolute scale is kind of new in this. Hey, have a seat anywhere. Basically, what this allows you to do is, I think that it does some analysis on the scenery around you, and it can kind of guess how big like 1 meter or 1 foot is in the real worlds. And so that way you can get like more size accurate 3D objects if you need that. So now that we've done this, let's do what this says. Change it from 1 to 6. Set that to 1. Set that to 6. Let's turn it to 7. Why the hell not? So now it's going to prompt you to build, land, and publish. And so what this does is, if you click build here, you're going to get a little loading bar that says saving. If you show the console, it'll give you a printout, build started, build completed on master. Oh, I guess this was, I'm reading it backwards. This is from top down. So the newest message here is build completed at 3:54. Good stuff. And basically, now that will allow you to run this as code. Let's see what it wants us to do next. Yeah, let's test the project in the simulator. So now we know that this is done building because there's no yellow circle here. So if I click that again, it'll like go away basically. It takes a second to build. So let's try to connect a device here. So you can, you don't have to connect a device. You can just run it in your app. If I press play here, it'll pop up with a simulation. It'll load for a second, and then we'll have a simulation of someone who is on a sidewalk. And you can test this by clicking anywhere and creating these cacti. Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Are there more people here?
I'm just showing PhD students.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, how long are you going till?
5:30.
5:30? Oh, okay, I might have them come back.
Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Immersive Media Studio.
Hi. There's more of a hack time like near the end. This is kind of a step-by-step thing, and then at the end we'll do like a little breakout hackathon.
Oh, at the end?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe the second hour.
Awesome. Great.
Cool.
Hey! Okay, bye, y'all.
So yeah, so you can test it right here in your browser. You don't have to connect a phone or anything, which I think is cool. So we've tried that. It seems to work. Test in different environments. We can try the lounge.
Says I need to be in developer mode.
In developer mode.
Before I can test
Does it say that for anybody else? Has anyone? It says you need to be in developer mode.
it. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how.
Let's figure that out. It might need you to.
He gave me a link, and then I'm going to the link, and then it pulls up the homepage.
Let's see if we can. So you were able to build. What happens if you click land here? So this is what's going to push the code to the repository. So we'll jump to this point here and click land, and then type in added new cactus, or whatever you want your message to be. And then if you click land files and publish, let me know what happens when you click that. Yeah, so this should pop up. Project title, Cactus Workshop 1. It says landed successfully. And then I can click done here. And it'll load for a second. Did it let you do that?
Let me land it, but to publish it, probably use something else as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, publish your project to staging or public on equal.com. Staging access required.
Yeah, OK.
Which can be set and project set.
Yeah, so basically what it's saying here is that if you want to publish this to like a secret link so other people can try it out before it's public, you can put it in a staging link. But what I will do is I would click public on this top radio button there.
Okay, I see that.
And then, yeah, the latest one. And then it should let you do it if you click done. So it might have a little pop-up that says staging or public. You can click either, but click public and choose the top one. That's the most recent change that you pushed. And then it should let you do it. So where are we now? Nice. Are you on the UT Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll check in when that works.
Don't wait for me.
Well, I think we're waiting probably for everybody. Ooh, I think the food is here, so this is a good break point. Hello. Oh, they hung up.
Do you want me to run it?
Yeah, it might be a two-person job. So I think they're in front of the plaza across the, you know, like where the, like if you go through that door, and then there's a plaza there between the two buildings, like where the dorm is across the street.
I can
Yeah, could you two go? Thank you. So we'll take a break for food after we figure this out. So yeah, I should be able to click this and see this. This obviously doesn't have an AR effect because it's on my computer, but if I visit this on my phone, it should work. But I'm curious to see if we can get it working for y'all. Has anyone successfully published it yet? I see you have. You're good. Is there a possibility that you didn't select educational when you selected like what you want the project to be for?
It didn't give me that option.
I didn't give that option. Hmm.
It gave me like a secondary like title. You could choose like what to list it as.
Well, is it still loading?
It sure is.
Oh, that's crazy. All right. Well, it seems like a few people have gotten through. But once we get to the little hacking part, if everybody can edit this, that's where we want to be at the very least. So that's pretty much how to do this world effect. It's pretty straightforward. We did this. We clicked land. This puts it in their source control. Add a message. Usually this is just what you did. Add cactus asset. And then you publish, land files and publish. This UI, I wish that this was different because this makes you want to click the purple button because it looks like a cooler button, but you actually want to click this button because you don't want to do these two separate times. I think that's probably what you did, is if you only publish, or if you only land files, then you get that second window to publish.
I'm not sure what I did, but I'm published, it says.
Nice.
But I still can't test without getting the developer.
Try to visit that URL on your phone.
I did, it's just the homepage.
Oh, the URL that it showed you here. Wait, what is mine? Like this one, I named it Cactus Project. Whatever name you gave it, should pop up. And I guess I made this on my, oh, I know what I'll do. I'm still on my, I made this in the UT developer account, so I'll make a new one under not that, so I can be exactly the same. So I'll put it on the web developer basic. Oh, is this what y'all went through? This is kind of new. Personal. Other. Ben's workspace 2. Cool. So I guess that's, okay, that's like a new workflow here. So if I create a new project, let's do this with the second workshop. Let's see what this says. Finish uploading. Congratulations. Next steps. We'll go through this later. We'll do this at the end. Ben's workspace 2. Cactus 2. Project. Oh, it's already taken? Wait, what is that? Oh, no, that's fine. Project title. Cactus 222. Nice. Clone project. Yeah, nice. So as we're doing this, we have kava. There's like some salads, some bowls, vegetarian, vegan options. go for it. This is like a good little break point because I'm about to go through the face effects. They might need a second to unload all that. So actually, maybe just wait 1 second. But yeah.
Is there a way to import CAD models?
Yeah, so yeah, I'll answer this for everybody. So basically, if we want to import models and stuff, the model type that it prefers are GLB. I got a question about importing other kinds of 3D models. If you're using CAD, which is computer-assisted design, which is basically just like a 3D modeling application, you might be working with something like an FBX or an OBJ. You might see a bunch of other kind of file types. They're all different kind of file types to store 3D data. What file type were you looking for? STLs. Yeah, STLs are, I think, specific to 3D printing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can save as whatever I want.
Yeah, cool. So Niantic Studio wants you to use these GLB files. They're kind of more optimized for a mobile phone. So there's a lot of different ways to convert an object into a GLB. There's websites I just Googled convert to GLB, and there's some websites that'll do it for you. You just drag and drop. Sometimes if you're, depending on what kind of editor you're using, you might be able just to export as a GLB. But yeah, I just Googled like convert to GLB and I got this.
STL to GLB is a thing.
Nice, yeah.
It worked well.
Oh, sweet, it worked, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you this tool here. If you have ever 3D modeled, you've probably heard of Sketchfab. This is just a big marketplace to like buy or sell 3D objects. If I go explore here, there's a bunch of different things. I'm going to restrict by free, downloadable. That's a nice car. And then you'll see if I scroll, like I can kind of spin this around, that's fun. Woo! But you can download 3D model and it'll ask you to create an account. But there should be somewhere on here, okay, if we're good, we can start getting food while I'm doing this.
Utensils?
Oh, they didn't bring utensils?
They did not.
Ah, okay. Well, we have forks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
So
cool.
5 minutes.
Okay, cool. So I thought there was something here somewhere that tells you what models they have, but like typically you'll see if they're, I think you might have to click this and log in first. Let me see if I can log in. But like I said, you'll want to download a GLB. So something like Sketchfab, let's see. Yeah, I click download here, and then it shows this one is actually original in GLB, but then it converts these to these other things. So I'll download this to my downloads. And this is on sketchfab.com, but there's a ton of websites. Race, what's your favorite for downloading 3D models? You make your own? Okay. So I'm going to drag, oh, this came in a zip. I'm going to unzip it. Source. And then I'm just going to drop this here. It's uploading. And it's kind of small, but there it is. And that was very quick. Let's make it 6 times bigger. Cool. So now we can use this if we want to, make a car appear everywhere. So just keep this in mind when we break for our little hack session at the end. But first, we're going to go through another one of these here, which is the face effects. So this allows you to create, you know, we've all seen these kinds of like face filter things. but they're actually very easy to make, just like we saw. So this one, we're going to the face effects project, which you can find if you type in Studio Face Effects. This one has glasses, can support multiple people in the frame, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's try cloning it. I'm going to clone this into this workspace to see if it works. Click Create. It'll take a second to duplicate. Is it working for you too? Nice. Is anybody hung up anywhere? Did you ever get through?
I just started doing my own thing.
Okay, fair enough. But this one shows a little bit of a different view. We're still in 3D worlds, but now we see a placeholder for face. And we can zoom in and see this little crazy face with glasses on it. We can see that there's a face object here with a face mesh occluder. Occluder is a 3D modeling term for blocking, like if something's in front of something else. There's a nose bridge. This is where the glasses will spawn. We have a green lens, and we have a blue lens. And these are translucent, or slightly transparent, which is why you can get an effect like, oh, I guess I lost it, but you can see through it. So again, pretty simple here. Okay, are we good now for food? Let's do this half of the room here. There's vegan and vegetarian, and then there's also like chicken and beef, if anybody. This half of the room. If you want food, you don't have to get food. Thought that was the whole appeal. Cool. So let's move on with this. So yeah, this says next steps optional. We'll get to this later, but Sketchfab is one. So we've created a new account. We've cloned this. Let's begin. It'll open Niantic Studio. We see everything here in the hierarchy, as they call it. Built-in functionality to track facial movements and attach object to a user's face. You can add hats, makeup, tattoos, even interactive face filters. Wow. So this is a good terminology here, a UV texture. If you're unfamiliar with 3D modeling, UV texture refers to two coordinates, or I guess two dimensions, U and V, which you can kind of think of it as X and Y. But the reason they're different is because they don't directly map to X and Y in 3D space. They basically directly map to X and Y on a square image, which then gets transposed in different ways and transformed to fit something like this face mesh. So you can see this face mesh is a bunch of different triangles. And so a UV texture will put this appless tattoo and this cool 8th wall logo on your face. I want to know what gang that is in prison.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Can you use this and then it directly goes onto like Instagram or TikTok or something?
No, those are kind of like their own ecosystems. Yeah, so this is the advantage of this is that you don't have to use Instagram or Snapchat, but also Instagram and Snapchat do their own like development in this world. I think Snapchat's is called, maybe it's also called Snapchat Studio. Lens Studio now, yeah. And then Instagram Spark, I think, I don't know.
They got rid of it.
Yeah, it's a mess. So what's nice about this is no matter what the whims of the social media tech giants are, This will be able to be accessible on the internet at a URL, which if you want to post on Instagram, you can record a video of yourself and then post it. So as far as I know, no, but maybe something else will come up on that. So it looks like there's attachment points on this face mesh. Here they all are. Kind of shortcuts if you want to attach something somewhere. And then, like I said earlier, the occluder it ensures that accessories fit naturally on the face. So without it, it looks like this is going through your eye. Ouch. But with occlusion, it will go around the head, which definitely helps sell the illusion here. So explore camera controls. So this is going to be in the inspector on the right. You'll have to select camera here. And you can see position, rotation, scale, near clip, far clip. What this means is that if something's too close or too far away, it'll kind of like disappear. This is a very common thing in video games. Then there's front camera. If you want to do like the back camera and have it automatically when it starts up be looking at the other way. All these options are here. Face, eyes, iris. There's max detection, so it can support up to 3 faces. I think if the other half of the room wants to get food now, you can. Go for it. And then perspective versus orthographic. This basically means like, are we looking at this perspective like we can see a vanishing point in the horizon, or is it completely 2D like a 2D grid, essentially? Field of view, we can bump this way up so the camera field of view is higher or smaller. What else can we do? Let's do select camera. Next, make sure face is selected under camera type. I think that it already is. It looks like there's world, face, 3D only. That's good, face. So let's try this preview and simulator again and see if anybody has issues. So if I hit this play button, it'll pop up with someone's face. And it'll show us, this is literally just a video that they've recorded that just exists, whenever you copy a project over. So you can test this out without actually having to hold your phone up in front of your face every time. This one has like an expressions. You might want head motion to see if it's tracking correctly. She's moving a little to the left and to the right. And there's different people, different models here, so you can test it on different individual. Oh, there's 2. That's pretty good. This might enable your webcam, which I'm not going to do. This is cool. This gives you current location in case you're doing something like geo-locked. They call it VPS, I think, is what they called it. So what does it want us? Oh yeah, so we clicked play, tested it out. We got that. Pretty cool. Simulator, we just explored that head motion. Customize with your own accessories. Let's swap out these glasses for something more stylish. So here, we'll delete these glasses. Now there's no glasses, and she's just serving face. Let's find our own 3D objects. This is where there's Poly Pizza, and I showed you Sketchfab. But these are just marketplaces where you can buy and sell 3D objects. Let's look for glasses. Let's filter by, I don't know, maybe these are all, oh no, you see the price here. Pixel glasses, these are the ones they used. Download, GLB, download. And then we swap back over here, and it's as easy as dragging and dropping it into the file section there. drag. I think the next step is going to be, yeah, we drag to drop it there. Or you can press the button and upload if you'd like. So now we need to attach the new model. So we've drag and dropped it into here, and I think I can drag and drop it like kind of onto this nose bridge thing. Oh, that looks like it's working. Let's try. They look really big though, but that could be funny. Yeah.
Then how do you rotate the camera like that?
That looks good. Like this?
Like,
I am, what was I? Oh, I'm I'm on a trackpad on a Mac, and I'm double clicking and panning around. And then zoom in and zoom out is the typical gesture. I haven't figured that one out yet. Maybe it's a button.
Click on the thing in the bottom left.
Oh yeah, you can do that, but that's not fun.
maybe choose finger press and drag.
That is pan. Yeah, worst case, you can rotate here. Oh. It's a little finicky. But that's why I recommend carrying around a 3-button mouse. I have one in my bag, but not using it. But that's pretty cool. We did that, swap that out. So you can see how easy it is. Let's actually make it the correct scale. Let's make it 0.3. Oh, that's too small. 0.5. That's close. We got to move it back on the z-axis. That's too far. Let's do -0.2. That's so close. -0.3. That's good enough. And it looks like it's kind of occluding correctly. Let's see if it has something about that. We've attached the new model. We've edited the transform position and the scale. We've adjusted it so it fits better here. Yeah, you can use the viewport to make these micro adjustments. Build, test, that's what we've done. And then this goes through the process again of landing and publishing. Congratulations. Very cool.
When you were putting the glasses on the nose bridge,
Yeah.
where did you drop that on the
So I'll delete this so we can do it again. I drag and drop them from my file browser to here. It uploaded it. You can see this green circle here means it's not committed to the repository yet. Then I move it up here, and I drop it onto this nose bridge, and it automatically now is attached to the nose bridge. Yeah, so if you want to like parent something to something else so that if the nose bridge moves around, your glasses move around, you typically like drag it onto it, and then it'll show it in this like indent hierarchy type of thing. Cool. So those were 2 basic projects that we made. We did 2 projects here in under an hour, and these are this is already great because if you work in immersive technology, you do any kind of immersive advertising, marketing, or just doing projects for clients, this is like 90% of what people will ask you for. So you already can make projects that will, make you money or complete projects. So pretty cool, but they can get a lot more complicated. As I talked about earlier, there is a full game engine in this tool. There's things like scavenger hunt. That sounds awesome. I wanted to check out absolute scale. This physics playground looks pretty wild. But the last thing I want to do as a group here is look at Gaussian splats, they call them, or what's the other term for it? Didn't they have another term for it? I don't know. But they're basically point clouds, which if you don't know what that is, here is an intro to Gaussian splats. So this is another app that you can download on your phone. I would recommend. It's called Niantic Scaniverse. It's similar to something like if you've heard of Polycam or Luma, or the one I use honestly the most is called 3D Scanner app. It works really well actually. It's free. This is free too. But what this lets you do is export things in Niantic's kind of proprietary. Well, I guess it's not proprietary, it's open source, but it's their file type of choice, .spz. And basically what their claim is that it's like JPEG for Gaussian splats. And what they mean by that is that it is a file type built for the web in that it's optimized to be loaded in quickly, modified, and kind of low impact on a phone or a computer. I've worked with them a lot, and they're great. I think that more applications should probably use these. So I guess it's intended as a universal format. And this says it has a single degree of compression. It's optimized for file size quality trade-off. So there is some technical details in here if you'd like to do further reading on SPZ. But what's cool is like, look, on this website, they have this embedded in an iframe. If you know anything about coding HTML websites, iframes are like a very basic and not completely outdated, but just like a very old way of embedding like a video or an image into a website that will like always be supported basically no matter what. And as you can see here, it fits on this website pretty well, and there was like no lag or anything. It's pretty snappy. Like, I think this is pretty cool. You can put this on any website and it should run this quickly. So if you aren't familiar with what Gaussian splats are, you can see here this looks extremely photorealistic. It doesn't look like an old video game. And the reason for that is if we zoom in really closely, instead of making 3D geometry like what typically game engines use, Gaussian splatting actually takes a bunch of little samples and makes these gradients, these 2D gradients that kind of float in space and face the camera in different ways. So if you look at it really closely, you can kind of see all these different like ellipses. Here's one like right in the middle that just goes from light here to kind of translucent on the outside. This one's a little blue, this one's a little white, or this one's a little cyan, and this one's a little purple. Oh, I went into the tree. But if you even zoom out this much, it creates an incredibly photorealistic image, and you're able to rotate around it with like very little cost. You can kind of see on the edges here where the scan, like what this person did is they stood next to this tree stump and walked around it, probably like doing this with their phone, scanning up and down. And you don't have to have a special phone to do this. I think this just does it with any kind of camera if your phone processor is good enough. But you can see in the edges here where they weren't specifically scanning, like this looks pretty good, but like this, they didn't get as much. So you get these like big blurry areas. And if I move kind of like out of the bounds of where they scanned, you start to get kind of what some might say is meaningless data, but I think this looks pretty cool. You can use this as like its own aesthetic. I think it's really pretty. But you can get these scans pretty big, and this is what I think is like the most like realistic you can get for AR VR right now. It's really cool, and it's like this SPZ makes it low impact. So what we're gonna do is copy this splat playgrounds here. Actually, I think I'd rather do this door portal because this effect is a lot cooler. So if you type in door portal, you should see this. There's a lot of other ones here. that are pretty cool. But this one uses the Gaussian splat. And you can see the appeal of this one is that it creates a 3D object with a door that you walk through. And now you're in Stonehenge on your phone. Some of my students used this last semester as part of this scavenger hunt that was like an AR scavenger hunt, and you had to go inside and like look around for clues that were like written on the bricks of Stonehenge, which was like a really cool effect because once you're staring at your phone and you start walking around, you forget that you're not actually in Stonehenge. So pretty cool effect. If we want to test it out first, scan this. We can all test it out. It'll pop up with a URL. It'll ask you for camera access, and it'll ask you for tracking access possibly. But if it doesn't, it should pop up a door directly where you're facing, and the door should open, and then you can kind of like move through the door, which is kind of hard because the door spawned right where this computer screen is for me. But then you're inside of Stonehenge, which is pretty neat. And then it's very simple to make your own 3D scans of anything. Like I said, download the Scaniverse app. It's kind of like they have this dual purpose in this app where also if you scan something, you can like upload it to their map. So they're actually like building a working metaverse, which I think is pretty crazy. I haven't uploaded anything yet, but I did a scan of this chair a while ago. It's just a chair with my bag of technology on it and some books on the left. It's not a huge scan, but I have sent that to myself, I think somewhere. Well, let's clone this project. Let me see if I can find the project I already cloned first. I called it chair. Open Studio. So basically, I replaced, similar workflow as we did with the cactus or the glasses. There was a Stonehenge, I guess it's called sundial.spz right here, and I replaced it. Oh, this is something else. This is an actual sundial. And then I replaced that with a chair, which I guess it didn't change the name. But now, my chair is in this 3D world. It's not. Oh, maybe I have to build it first. But for the second half of the workshop now, if you want, you can get into small groups or work on your own, but I'll be walking around and we can start building something. And then if you build something cool and send me the URL, we have some gifts that you can enter into a raffle for. So that is how you enter into the gift card raffle, is by sending me the URL of a project that we make in the second hour. Let's see if this works now. None. Not sure why this isn't working. I tested it on my phone and it seemed like it worked. You can also, as you start to think about what you're doing next, sometimes I also use this connect device thing just to, again, bypass having to like push everything to a website and like edit things. This, once you start getting into more complicated code, this is great because you can connect a new device. I'm scanning this with my phone. It'll go to a special URL, and then it should pop up here. Look, that I've connected with a phone because now it says iOS device. it actually, this web app actually knows that I'm connected on my phone, which is great. You can see here the chair is in 3D here. And if I hit play, I think something's wrong with whatever I changed here. But this gets really handy when you want to debug on an actual phone, because then you will get like printouts here. See, this says there's a script error, that's why it's not playing. You can put like, debugging statements or print statements in your code, and then you can test it out on your actual phone, and then get like the debugging information in this console here. So this is really useful. Yeah.
Does it, do we have to, if we're using Windows, do we have to use Android, or does it matter? You can use an iPhone or Android, depending.
No, you can use any smartphone. Maybe not one that's super old, but this one just knows that it's connected to an iOS device. If you connect an Android, it might say Android device. Yes.
Is there a way to edit these splats?
That's a good question. From what I understand, if they're calling it like the JPEG of Gaussian splats, then you would have to do it in some kind of editor. I don't know if there's an editor here. I haven't seen any example projects where they all these splats exist in 3D space. Potentially you could like move them around, which you can do with point clouds I've seen. So I would look for an example in the project library.
What about like the cactus example? Do you replace the cactus with splatted object?
I was thinking that. You should try that. You should try that. These are the only, I guess, splat examples. This one's interesting because it adds collision to the 3D scene. So you can drop balls onto it. We all like to do that. Yeah, this tells you how to do it with their Scaniverse app. OK, so now, yeah, we'll break. I'll be walking around. Pick a project from here that is interesting to you. Some of these will be harder to test than others. Somebody choose the physics playground because I'm so curious on this. Vehicle controller. This one might be more suitable for like a web app, like a computer, because it looks like you use your keypad to drive. That one's cool. First-person controller. This is insane to do on a phone. Sky effects sounds interesting. You'll notice that these have a prefix with Studio versus 3.js or A-frame. 3.js and A-frame are two web libraries that are used not just by Eighth Wall, that use like JavaScript to do graphics on a browser. But now that they have Studio, you don't have to use as much code, and you can kind of edit with this 3D scene, which is really nice. So if you see stuff with 3.js or A-frame, just know that that is not the same like editor. I'll show you kind of what those look like. Although, they're still valid. They're still fun to use. Here's all of the UT projects. Like for example, this one. If I open it, it will not look the same. It will. You can see things are a little in different places. You'll just see a bunch of code, which, depending on what you're doing, might be fine. But it's not as much fun, I guess. This is more fun, more intuitive. Cool. So I'll let y'all start hacking. Feel free to ask me questions, and I'll walk around. If anybody finds a good website to download Gaussian splats as well, let me know. see if there's anything left. Hmm? Oh, yeah. I don't have, there's no problem with this food.
Cool.
If they want some,
In the lab.
they have to come to one.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think Jordan?
True. You can grab one for Jordan. I'm gonna see.
Looks like baby safe.
Spicy chicken, avocado. I'm gonna take one of these. Ooh. This is. No, this is too hard to eat. I also got brownies. And cucumber mint gallon.
This has, like, Gaussian Slash would be like training, they've trained, or they
Well, I mean, it has like a computer vision model because it has to figure out where the point is in 3D space by the movement of the camera, you know? Actually, triangulation of where it is, but I don't know what that means. It is doing something like that. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I mean, you don't have to use a phone, but most of you do. But basically what you'll want to do is like select, like where are we right now? Yeah, yeah. So you'll want to clone this project and then just edit it in some way and then give me a URL. Yeah, just to get you started. Okay. Yeah, send me the URL. And that's what I'm looking for. Put your name in the message. Let's set up a way for you to send it to me. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think you'll miss the gimbal breakdown requirements. This will be nice. Thanks for coming. Oh, yeah. They sent me these slideshows. Great. Yeah, they sent me these two, which are like super basic, but I think this is just to get people on there. I think people are generally more advanced than that than I work with, so like that's why I wanted to pull up the Gaussian splat one. They also have a hackathon episode, so I want to check that one out. I mean, honestly, it might be worth reaching out to them again and seeing.
Yeah. No. So it was like 5.
For a hackathon, yeah. Yep.
Does it usually take a long time to like scan
now?
It's actually a long process.
It-
Well, I just
it-
tried to do the elevator and it looks terrible.
Depends on what you do. Sometimes it'll be really fast, but like I have used Luma AI before, and it takes like hours because it's doing the processing on your servers, and it's like fucked up.
Yeah, I was trying to do the elevator and make like
Yeah.
a portal into the elevator.
Try doing that. Did it cut you off or something? Or?
Well, it was hard because one, if the elevator moves, you're like scanning in your space. If you go up a floor,
Just keep pressing that.
yeah, keep pressing the door.
Yeah.
But I had it for a while. I was still for a while.
It's pretty cool.
Oh. Dude, I forget.
Yeah, what? To get other things to put on there.
Yeah, I just want.
I mean, you can use any kind of 3D object, so.
No, I want to get the base system set up. So you can try and
Yeah, like,
replace this guy with something specific.
yeah. So you can track their face.
Yeah, well, you can like test.
So go back to the other one. So, you click on that.
Oh, I see. There's.
So you might be able to, if you click the plus it'll have one chart.
Oh, what's that? Yeah, I think that works. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a lot of. Oh yeah, the VPS. Yeah, that's like the location-based thing. I haven't really looked into that much yet.
Hey Ben. So, for our ICC campaign, we really like the pop-up kind of project. And so I'm trying to, for their campaign, like, we think it would be cool that there's a script there. They have like, their buildings that they do kind of come to life on the table. But I'm trying to see, like, test this out on my phone. I got this off of,
Yeah.
what's that website?
Sketchpad.
Yeah. And so I gotta go here.
Because I wanted to go to the red one.
Dang, I don't know if
If I scan it, try and do it on my phone.
Dude, this is so much fun.
it's the same thing.
It's like
Yeah, and then if I click here and do. There's some error going on. I think that's what it is. But actually, for this purpose, I would use an image target, the image target one, which basically like. I mean, you could use this one if you want, but there's another project that lets you like if you have like a pamphlet on the table, it will let like you log onto this website and you might scan a QR code, and then if you look at it, it could pop out of like an image on the table, which maybe that would be more useful than like tapping. Either way, I'm not sure.
Like the ones that have like
What?
it's like, oh,
How do you create a client?
Picture it like that.
Oh, Maya is the software you use? Or is it like
it's
another,
for-
is it kind of like Niantic Studio?
no.
So-
I'm not sure right now.
Like I tried to make sure
But
the
like
camera
Maya
is
is, oh, that's the one we're using, Niantic Studio.
Yeah, the icon is not going to be an accurate representation of where it's pointing, I think. I think it's like the icon is pointing to the far right, but it actually is, you know?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, so this is just augmented.
This says couldn't create a clone.
That's the way I'm understanding it.
Okay.
Also
Just
just
the
like
entity to spawn its properties. So, and like if you click on that,
Okay.
you need to do create new component because currently this won't, like if you type in tab,
Oh, yeah, so
What is this?
I think,
Why
yeah.
is it messing?
Oh.
So this will do that,
Oh my God, it's
and then
stressed.
entity to spawn, select that and do the,
Okay.
and then you should be good. Try building that and see what happens.
Okay. But that idea, I kind of like that idea too. Like if we had a template.
Yeah, so there's another example called image target that you should look into.
Would it be kind of similar?
It'll be really similar, yeah. Thank you.
I started with the matcha, but I started so far not very good. But I'll send you a picture when I get back.
I was gonna make a Yoshi. I have the cut on the nose and I can like
No, maybe the ponytail and maybe.
Oh yeah, I was quite physics playground, yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, I'm gonna play around with it later.
Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Is it pretty easy to set up an Airtable?
For you?
Can we set one up so that
You
people
know,
can
yeah,
see?
I'll say it there. For which one?
Maybe their name, email, I think. So that way I can just collect them all in one place.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Wait, okay, wait, so are we going to okay, I mean, I was gonna go if you were gonna go to it. If you were gonna go. Oh, go where they actually like when there's a like meeting. Wait, do they have that cool meeting?
Not really. It's mostly just Friday meetings and like different social events. They're
Oh,
usually,
nice.
so me and Augie usually go like pretty frequently, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's like an outdoor event on Saturday. Right, it's usually
I don't know.
not really workshops, more so like
That's what I thought.
that's
That's
good.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'll go to the next one.
Salads.
Thank you for coming. Like,
Okay.
coming up.
Bye-bye.
But I'm like literally,
Bye, thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fucking laugh on this space. But I just been the last like 30 minutes because I'm trying to get classes on and then I don't know, you have to when you do science.
I'm gonna take a picture of both of them. Thank you, man. Yeah, thanks.
See you.
What are you working on? A car? That looks crazy.
Sweet
Why are they doing that?
I'm trying to like
Oh, it's pretty close. That's really good.
messing around with the transform animation.
Mhm.
So I thought that this would bring it closer.
I think the Z axis is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's called Sweet Car.
See cars, there's multiple.
Nice. Oh, thank you.
We have friends on Discord.
I forget that you can friend someone on Discord. wonder if I can tiny you, yeah.
So I got the glasses. I think what I'm working on, but when I go to the preview, it still shows the whole.
You need to build it. So that yellow button at the top is showing yellow because. So that's basically recompiling the code. Success. Right now. Yeah. Oh, the model is probably too complex.
Oh, with the glasses.
The geometry might be too, there's too many triangles. It's running a little slow.
So should I do because this is
Sketchpad.
Sketchpad, but it gave me a connection.
Oh yeah, I would do whatever the smallest thing is. I don't know why some people have the developer mode thing and some people don't have that.
I can never figure it out. There's like a step-by-step on how to fix it, but I couldn't find the option.
Yeah, because they have new.
If you Google developer mode 8th wall, it's the first link. But
Yeah, let me look into that. It might be that you have, if you create, like when you're creating the project, you have to choose what workspace.
yeah, it was telling me to go to the project and authorize the device, but I couldn't find the option.
That sounds like something's wrong. Yeah, because where you're trying to go is kind of the old 8th wall page, and that doesn't have that, so it's going to be something else. Device authorization.
explanations at all of the example projects?
Kind of. You kind of have to dig into it, and sometimes you have to be able to like recode a little bit. I'll give you an example. I was working on a project with my students where they wanted to copy. They basically wanted to have a secret. You have to type in a secret passcode, and it told you if you got it correct or not. And there is a template. There's like a template that's kind of close to that. It's called Word Guesser. I'm gonna look it up right now. Word. But what we noticed is that the code for the actual word guessing was hidden behind like something that it imported in. And so we kind of reached a dead end, and I asked Niantic for the source code, and they gave it to me. But that is an example where sometimes on these examples, they will hide something behind these modules. In the bottom left corner of the Studio UI, there's this modules tab that's kind of hidden. And right here, there's landing page Studio. Like this is one for like the landing page that pops up. But there was one, oh, this is the wrong project. But basically, if you check this module tab and you see some modules here and you click on this, you can see that it might link to code that they have stored in their backends that they are not open sourcing. So if that is the case, then you're kind of reached a dead end, and you need to know some TypeScript and create something yourself, essentially.
Occluder do exactly?
That it recognizes the face and hides. If you turn your face, it'll hide like the side of the glasses that are away from you behind the face.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. So every time you hit build and land, or every time you hit land, it'll create a new version in the source control. So you can always revert to an old version. But if you haven't been hitting land, then you probably don't have any versions. So what you can do, I'm going to try doing this on my screen so you can see. So the question was, what if you want to revert to an older version, which sometimes happens if you get far into a project and then want to go back and check out what a previous change was. And when you go to the project page on your workspace, there's a few icons here on the left. And I'm looking for it because they changed where everything was. But there was something here that had the versions. I might need to re-find that because they moved it.
But you could just Control Z and see how far you get there. You tried that?
No, I said I will try that. It might just take a little bit because it's
Where is the source code?
really fuck these classes up.
They put a .ply spot copy.
I don't know, that's a good thing to test.
Having trouble exporting.
On Scaniverse? Does it just take, it might just take a long time.
It doesn't have any indication of. We got mine to export. It's like 10 megabytes. Did you use PLY or is it SPV? Because PLY is not a flat file. It's a point cloud. Well, I have this thing on Blender.
Blender. It's like an add-on, and it expects.
Oh, to export as, I see,
Yeah.
rather than the SPZ.
It says on here import PLY as splats.
Weird. Is it like a converter?
It's supposed to be. I think I can edit the splats. I don't know to what extent.
All right. Yeah, I can export as a PLY.
Like onto your device, or
Yeah, there's on the share, on the right part of the screen, there's a share and then there's export model, and then I select PLY. And I'm just gonna airdrop it to my computer. Oh. Good catch. It's always so sad when that happens.
yeah, for whatever reason, it's just not working.
I have successfully done it on mine. Maybe it is a platform difference. You have an Android, right?
Yep.
There might be a bug. But
What if I post it to the map and I download it from there? Have you tried that?
I haven't tried that. It doesn't. I don't know if it lets you download from the map. I think it's just to view it. Well, if you.
Well, I got this awesome chair.
I've sat in that chair.
You've never seen this thing.
No.
This is a pretty good scan. I'm pretty happy with the results.
Yeah, I like this tool.
And then we just gotta go all the way around.
It is like almost 5:15. So in the next 10 minutes, I have a URL here, which will lead you to a Airtable where you can enter in your name, email, and you can post your link. And then sign up for the Texas Immersive newsletter as well. So you can stay up to date with all these really cool workshops. So yeah, that's how we'll do this raffle. Let's just take a look at the prices, shall we? Who likes HEB gift cards? Ooh. What about Lowe's gift cards? That's for this side of the room. And then these that say, have fun. I think you can use them at like Domino's or Applebee's. Ooh. Or Cold Stone Creamery. Or Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know. Ooh. These are the ones without activation costs. You get what you get.
Doing kind of an ASMR thing.
I was thinking about putting a giant countdown timer to make it feel like Iron Chef.
dig into the console, like debug messages?
Yeah, so on different things, there's this hidden tab here that actually shows you the code. So for example, this tapplace.typescript file that is generated once you decide you want to tap place things. You can see the code here. And this is where you can add all your typical like print statements, variables, those kinds of things. The most like AR genre of music that I can play right now.
How do you play this? How do the soundtrack for Tron?
Like Sims music?
Oh, what does Sims music sound like?
Sims.
There's Sims 1 music.
This? Look at this picture. Nice. Before you submit your 8th wall project URL, make sure that you can open it up in a incognito tab and I can see it because I can't see Justin Zing's. I'm sorry. It says hasn't been published, yeah.
Oops.
I like the 3D models, Jake. This looks great.
Is the only way you can like transform the position of the models like numerically, or can you like drag them around?
Yeah. Those arrows.
Well, if I drag them, do like.
So you have to select the.
Oh. Okay.
If you grab the middle, you can do 2D, and if you grab one of those axes.
Nice. Thank you.
Hop daddy. fun at work.
Doesn't seem like you can download it from the app.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I get once it's on my thing in my library. There's a share export model PLY on my
Been
phone.
through this stuff. Just didn't work.
Just look, it works.
It works for you.
Alright,
What? This is what they look like when you open them up on your computer.
What software would be used to build like your own models, GLB files?
So,
Unreal?
not Unreal. The most popular one is, oh, hold on.
Literally.
Blender.org. This is the most popular tool.
Is that free?
This is what I use. It's free and open source. Tons of community support. If you're doing like architectural work, you might use something like, well, actually, I don't know, but there's a lot of other tools out there. Autodesk has like Maya,
Fusion 360.
Fusion 360. That's kind of for like fabrication stuff, right? So there's a lot of different options. It depends on what your use case is, but if you're designing something that will be seen digitally or rendered digitally, Blender is like a really good option. What's up?
I have a question. So it shows that the glasses are on the face, but then when I go to the demo, they're like on the side of the face.
Oh, so it's because they're not parented to the nose bridge. Point. And now you can restart it.
And then, I guess for the blood, does it need to be parented to, like parented to the face, like literally?
You parent it to,
Or the face
oh,
mesh?
parent it, because the blood is on the glasses, so I would also do it on the nose bridge or on the glasses even. Oh. Oh, looks good. I guess this glasses model is like really heavy.
That might be it. Cool.
It's scary. Oh, you want it on the face? Yeah, then I would do it on this.
Check this out. I'm gonna show you how I import this stuff.
No, you're not.
Okay, you ready? All right.
We're listening to The Sims. Oh my God, 17 seconds.
Oh.
Where are we sending it then?
Oh, that's not the right one. This URL. Okay, I get it. Am I thinking of
Oh, it's fucking.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music? Yeah, this is what I was thinking of. The stakes are so high, guys. Yeah, so go to this URL. type in your name and a link to your project. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Turn it down. Oh, so you have to select this right there, that cross thing, and then now you should be able to move it. Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's scale, that's rotate, and then the first one is translate. Yeah, you might be grabbing all or two axes at once when you really just want to grab one, so it might be easier to like move to the side, you know, like rotate to the side so you can see it. Oh, it's
So I found a way where of course have my
so you need to land it first.
I was trying to find how
so that you add a message there, and you can say like did whatever you changed. And then you can select that land files and publish. Yeah, I know they make that button so clickable.
I couldn't find a speaker model that I put in earlier, and I'm realizing that it's like up here.
Oh yeah. You'll see it when you make the camera. That's where your phone will start, kind of.
Oh, okay, never mind.
You doing good?
That's a lot scarier. Red.
Okay. Well, if you don't finish what you're working on, it's fine. Just land it and send it to me anyway. Because it is almost 5:30. Oh, thank you. If you get your information in soon, you'll have a better chance of winning because I'm only typing in people who have submitted. $1 million is how you'll be feeling.
How do you find this? You would use it?
Okay, we're starting big. $20 have fun card. If your name isn't on here, you need to get your name on there. Oh, who's it gonna be? No, go. Nice. You get a have fun card. Okay. Short pause while you keep putting your names in here. I feel like not all of you have it's free money, guys. Come on.
It's because it's trying to rest. Okay, let's see what I think. Yeah, look at this.
Next. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is there a long version? Oh, oh. You get a $20 have fun card. Actually, you can choose. Do you want the $20 have fun card or the $20 Lowe's card? I know you want. The This is so much fun. Someone should have made this on Niantic Studio.
The spinner?
Yeah. Oh, I have a feeling it's gonna be Paola. Who's that? Is that you? Do you want a have fun card or a Lowe's card?
Fun card. Thank you.
There's also HEB cards. I forgot. Guys, I'm running out of names here.
It's still building.
Who's that? Who's Jacob Stigliano?
Sick. Thank you, sir.
Take one. Oh, it's down to 4.
You got everyone should win one.
That might be the case, but then we would do less spins if I just handed them out. Chris Carell, please report to the front.
The last person remaining should get a prize. I'm saying.
What's a more this is a scary song.
I know.
Who wants to be a millionaire? Winning
Price.
sound. Oh, Price is Right is kind of like.
When they play, when you walk up to the stage for
Who is it? Pick a card. Oh yeah, they're right here.
Let's go.
They're all the same price?
I think the lows are 25, but everything else is 20.
Is it low?
All right, let's spin it. Nobody else has filled in this Airtable, so I guess I'm keeping the cards. TV?
Can I get one? I couldn't.
Wait, what's your name?
Audrey?
Putting it here.
Okay.
Is that spelled like this?
Oh, yes, that's correct. Wait, can I put mine in? Mine is built. It's refusing to build.
Refresh the page. There might be like one extra person, so I don't know who's gonna not get one.
No, it's the same.
Wait, can I throw my name in?
Yeah. Wait, fill in the Airtable. It doesn't have to be finished. Just put your name and your email and the 8th Wall Project URL in this Airtable. I will not be spinning this wheel until I get another name in. Oh.
Maybe now you should play the scary music.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It is 5:30, so if you need to leave, thanks for coming. If you want to stay and see the bloodbath of this final spin, you can stay. Yeah, we're back. We're back to this.
Can I take one of these extra pulls?
Go for it.
Thank you. This one says spicy chicken, but it's beef.
Yeah, I had one that said chicken and grilled chicken and veggies, and there's no chicken in it. I forgot to put the chicken in it.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, see you later.
See y'all later.
Guess I'm gonna keep all these gift cards. Do you have like an issue with publishing? What's going on? Is it not working?
Still.
What if it was fast?
Where do I have to go to submit it to your tech?
Oh, I took that link off. I'm so sorry. That's why no one was submitting.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, anyone can come, I don't like whole day, and it's like, here's an excuse to go there.
Yeah.
As you're doing that, I wanted to plug Texas Immersive's newest
Yeah, I'm excited.
experience. It's called Pulse. And it is the capstone classes experience this semester that takes place in the building adjacent to this. Grab a ticket, see what they're working on. Let's watch this.
Oh, nice.
You get UIs. You get
Shutting down.
You get robots. You get dance parties.
They're at Moody. Go find them and learn from them.
That's where we are. that's where we are right now. Does that not fill you with intrigue? You should buy tickets now on this website, texasimmersive.com/pulse.
How much are they?
I don't know, let's see. You can't use your Have Fun gift card on these, unfortunately.
Tickets are $25, but you can get a discount if you're a UT student.
You can get a discount if you're a UT student. That's huge. Everybody should sign up. April 11th through April 13th, multiple show times, folks, so you have no excuse not to go. Also, if you are a student and interested in learning more, check out Texas Immersive Institute. Here's a nice little website right here where you can learn so much more about it. I teach Immersive Media Studio, open to all majors, grad, undergrad, no prerequisites. We like to have fun. We do this kind of thing in our classes. Less food though, unfortunately, but you know, that's how it goes. I teach you how to do sound design, lighting design, projection mapping, system architecture, and development for immersive experiences. It's a blast. All right, where are we with this? Oh, we got more names. We got basically the next 5 names to sign up get cards. That's right there. So, actually, sorry, the next 2 names. We already have 3.
What does
Yeah.
it mean if it says error failed to fetch?
Failed to fetch? I don't know what that means.
Just trying to.
You get land?
Yeah, because it won't even, I think it won't build.
Oh. Get canceled then. Show console.
Oh, like a sign or something? Yeah.
So once it builds, it'll pop up with a larger message there.
Oh, is it cheaper, I guess? You don't buy their conferences? Yeah. Bring like a stomach.
Yeah.
Water.
No. I just keep getting. Or PR agency.
Yeah, I was working for Southside there.
I
Okay.
submit it, but it's like.
Joe, Audrey, and
Oh, here we go.
who else?
I got it.
Oh, Ciara. You also.
I just don't think it's gonna build.
Who's what? Someone was.
I
Oh
got
yeah.
it. It's been loading for like half an hour, and it finally got it.
Oh the air. Oh that. Yeah. If the geometry is really complicated, then it
I
might.
had made this thing and it's got something like 2,000 polygons on it.
It probably was uploading to their server from your computer.
Okay, got it.
Nice. One more. Who's gonna get it?
It's full wheel.
Advanced. Yes. I think one is for HEB and one is for a bunch of random things.
I'm going to Thrive.
I think you have to like,
I'm gonna go to AMC.
I think you have to use it online. Like you have to go online with it first,
Okay.
and then it will like activate it.
Awesome. Thank you.
It does have Cracker Barrel on there, yeah. Also has Xbox. I think it's $20.
Yeah, I'm good at HB.
Nobody's. Come on, guys. Oh wait, it's because
I submitted mine.
you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of those is for you.
Did mine show up?
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a card. It's in advanced mode. Yeah. I think it probably more.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
See ya.
Are they doing more like workshops in this vein? or
Yeah,
is
they're
it-
usually on Fridays. Yeah, follow Texas Immersive Institute on. I mean, you can sign up for the newsletter, which is probably the most reliable way, but they also post it on Instagram and stuff.
Is it an order?
Texas Immersive Institute is a institute, which means it has these classes in a sequence. There's a student org around it, but it's also a department.
Okay, so I have a couple friends in there, not small.
Yeah, it might be in Dive, which is the student org.
Oh, there's a good slash proficiency system for VR class.
Yeah, yeah. If you join these classes, you can use all of our VR stuff. We also have a haptic suit. We have lights. We have a projection room. Yeah. Also AR glasses, VR stuff.
I lived in Slates when I was working on a VR project. I was just so
Yep. We have a fleet of quests. And some quest 3s as well.
Oh, yeah.
I guess they're quest 2s. So we have like 30 of them. And we have some quest 3s.
This is just like check them out.
Oh. Yeah, you can just check them out.
Thank you.
Yep. Alright, fine, I'll keep it.
Oh, I just want to ask.
Yeah. Oh, the code on the door? It's in the Discord. Let me look. I don't know it off the top of my head, I just know where to